next generation of City Line cameramen there on the floor. Love the kids. Please welcome Dr. Marjorie Dixon. He's getting some work done over there, running the cables.
I know, he's rolling it up.
So now the kiddies are going to be out for summer. Lots of us are going to be at camp, and you want to make sure if your kids come back home and they're itchy and they're scratchy, you can get to the bottom of what is going on. Because summer, they've got more contact with things like poison ivy and heat rash.
With the outdoors.
With the outdoors, right? So let's go through some of the common skin ailments, the rashes out there, and then we'll talk a little bit about what you can do to treat them.
Perfect. So I think that one of the more common ones we see, and even in adults in the summer, is heat rash.
For sure.
And people are like, well, what does this look like? I had a patient actually the other day in my gynecology office say, I don't know what's happening, but it's right underneath both of my breasts.
Oh, okay, because it's hot under there.
It's hot under there. And in the summer, but it's true. So if people have larger abdomens, it hangs over. It's called a pannus. There's a medical word for everything. It's called a pannus.
Really?
So you're more likely to get heat rash under that pannus. So what is it is that your body, when we exercise or whenever we work, we sweat.
Yes.
And the sweat comes from sweat glands that are in the dermis. So the epidermis is our skin, and underneath the skin there's the dermis, and in there's sweat glands. And they're designed to make us cool our bodies off when we get hot. So in the summer, we decide we want to exercise outside, and we're going to wear a cute outfit. It's going to be a little bit tight, and it's tight in our creases, and the sports bra is really tight right under our breasts. So those are the places where the sweat glands can get blocked.
Right.
And so that you can develop something called heat rash, or miliaria rubris, that's the Latin term.
Okay.
You can also have like little clear lesions on top, so the sweat can get caught in it, and babies that have very immature sweat glands can have, they have that little punctate type clear rash. So that's all heat rash.
Okay, so it looks like little dots, right?
It looks like little dots, almost like sandpaper, people can call it.
Yes, I get it.
Okay, you get
like
the
pretty much every summer I get heat rash.
All right, so the way to avoid it is to not wear tight fitting clothes, and when you sweat, allow the sweat to be wicked by your clothing.
So don't wear tight clothes?
Well, you might end up with the situation that Karen was talking about before. How to avoid a relationship problem.
An almost affair.
And heat rash, all at the same time.
Get out of the tight clothes.
So you can get this red rash, and it's more prickly. They call it prickly heat, so people feel more not itchy but irritated by it.
It's irritating. Yeah.
So how do you avoid it? Don't wear tight clothes.
Stop wearing tight clothes.
Wear clothes that wick the sweat. So that's like cotton, loosey things.
Yeah.
And if you are heavier and you know that you have parts of your body that rub up against one another when you're out and hot and you're walking and you're sweating, make sure that you use something like talcum or something between there. Not lotions, because lotions can also clog your pores.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's
it's called thigh rub, people.
Yeah, I know.
They touch. There's no gap.
There's no gap, but you want to make
do?
sure that you can sweat there too.
Right.
You need to be able to sweat freely.
So you talked about prevention. What do you do if you have it? Is there anything you can put on it to ease it?
So whenever you get any kind of rash, the first thing that people do or can do is over-the-counter cortisone stuff. So you get that 1% cortisone cream you put on. It will just help it be less angry. This won't be something that you can put Benadryl on, because it's not that type of reaction that will respond to it.
Right.
So over-the-counter steroid cream, steroid powders also can help.
Okay, all right.
Those things
for heat rash. All right, let's talk about athlete's foot. What is it?
Well, it's the same pathogen that causes jock itch. And it's more common in men because I guess they scratch everywhere. I don't know. But really, it happens, mainly it's scaly and flaky on the foot. So if you go to the gym, for example, and you're walking around the locker room, all the things that my mother told me, my paranoid Jamaican mother, about don't walk barefoot there because you're going to catch something. Well, that's where you do get it.
Okay.
So you can get it on the floors of gyms. You can get it by sharing kind of moist socks with other kids. So that's why camp and being away in the sun, all the women are like, ooh, it happens, okay? And then that's one that's contagious. So if you scratch, it's kind of a scaly thing that happens between the toes. Even when you go get a pedicure, if they haven't properly sterilized those instruments, you can be at risk of it.
Okay, what do you do to try and fix that or treat that?
So antifungal, but that's why it also causes, it's the same pathogen that causes jock itch.
Yeah.
So when people, well, men, wear the cups and then scratch around it, or they pick at their toes and then pick there, or pick at your face, you can spread it. Other people.
Trust me, it happens.
It happens, okay? So
it's gross and it happens.
Antifungal cream.
Antifungal.
Antifungal.
Got it.
So it's a fungus. So you want to treat with antifungal cream and keep your toes out. Wear flip-flops. And if you go to the gym, wear shoes. Don't go barefoot.
You've got to.
Don't sit on the floor in that shower either.
Y'all don't stay in your shoes.
I'm sorry, but it is
that shower shoes.
That's how it spreads. It's very contagious. Okay.
Poison ivy.
Poison ivy.
Which is we hear about all the time. But I actually like what do the leaves look like in poison ivy, and what does it do to your skin?
Right. So it's a typical 3-leaf from one stalk, essentially.
Okay.
So it's a 3-lobed thing. It can be either serrated edged or clear edged, so smooth edged. So it's kind of hard to spot it, but it happens low-lying along the borders of roads, in stony, pebbled areas, in all provinces but one in Canada.
Which one?
Guess.
I don't know. BC.
Nope, other end.
Quebec.
Nope.
Newfoundland.
Yeah.
There's no poison ivy
There's
in Newfoundland.
no, it's endemic everywhere in Canada but to Newfoundland.
That's interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that
anyway,
is.
it is what it is. So
Okay.
that's
It's not like the climate's that much different there.
No,
Why would they
but
not have
typically
any?
what happens when people walk, they brush up against it. And what it's called is toxicodendron, so it's toxic wood, essentially.
Okay.
And it's the oil on it, okay? Urushiol oil, essentially. And that oil can stick to you. If you have a pet, it'll stick in its hair, on your clothing. And that stuff, when it touches somebody else, can also be conferred to them. So poison ivy is enough of a problem, especially if a bunch of children are on a field trip or something together, and it doesn't manifest itself. It's the oil in it that gets on the skin, and then 24 to 48 hours it gets angry.
Right.
And it's really bad, and it can be vesicular. It has bullae, like those little clear vesicles on the skin.
Yeah.
It's the stuff, the oil that causes the problem. If you pick at which you shouldn't, again, don't pick at it, it can get infected.
Yeah.
But if you pick at it, that won't actually spread it. The spread is from the oil.
And
so
what do you do to treat it?
Cool water and soap to get it off.
That's it?
And then don't burn it because it can get into people's lungs. So you have to make sure that you go to there's a website in Canada, go find out how to get rid of it. Always wear gloves, cover up your body. Don't touch anybody.
Okay, because it's highly contagious.
It's very contagious.
Ooh, good tips. All right, break time. More coming up.